Hey everybody, welcome back to the Shred Shed. Today we're going to be taking a look at the worst mountain bike crash I've ever had, at least in my adult life. I haven't had many, luckily. I've been mountain biking my entire life, and I've only had a handful of crashes. So this happened back in 2022. Yes, so this happened back in 2022. It was middle of the summer. I'm sure I have had my fair share of crashes as a kid, but this one that we're going to watch today happened up at Boyne Highlands. A little story on the crash. So we had been having a pretty stressful summer. Our daughter was between 6 and 8 months old, somewhere in that range. It was a few months after my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. So to say that I was stressed beyond belief is an understatement. And I needed to get away for a day, so I took a drive up to Boyne Highlands. And to say that crashing wasn't an option is a bit of an understatement. So I had set out for the day, did a bit of riding in the morning, got in a few laps, took a break for lunch. I was well warmed up at this point. I'd ridden this trail that I fell on probably a time or two already for that day, but I hadn't did much riding at any point this year. Let's watch this together. So this crash took place on a trail called Holy Diver. Yeah, it's a really fun trail. It starts off with a couple really tight berms before leading into a couple jumps and I think a drop or two up top, and then the second half of this trail is a little bit more techy. It's really loose, it's rooty, more of like free ridey. There's a lot of lines to choose from. Like I had said earlier, this trip was not one where I was willing to really get hurt on. I was kind of taking it easy. You can see I took the small drop option there. Just kind of having a fun, chill couple laps. Not really trying to do anything too crazy. Everything at Boyne is also really sandy. Oh gosh. That was it. That was the worst crash I've ever had. I shoulder checked the trail sign. So this is the section where it really starts to get loose, rooty, sandy, all that. Kind of goes to this little ravine here for a minute. So if we go back a little bit, we'll just kind of walk through this frame by frame. So in this section here, it's probably the steepest spot of this trail. It's not at all the steepest trail at Boyne Highlands, but at this spot, it's probably the steepest part of the trail. You can see it gets really washed out, kind of the stair steps that take place here, but what happens is washout from weather, but also people flying down this trail and just locking up their brakes. You can see like where this trail gets rutted out from the tire locking up and just shoving all that dirt down the hill. And it creates this like stair set type feature. And I was coming in way too fast. I was going way too fast for this section of the trail. And like I said earlier, it's loose and sandy. And I think what happened is I was coming in way too hot. And my front tire goes down into one of those stair sets. So I wasn't positioned correctly on the bike, at least for this spot of the trail. And I maybe had landed too close and it let my front tire roll over. And you can actually see right here, my seat pokes out above my GoPro. Like you can see my seat in the frame. This is not that steep of a trail to where you should be seeing my seat in the frame. So that tells me I was probably not in the right spot on the bike. My front tire went down when I wasn't anticipating it to. And then as my body, like my center of gravity came off of that stair step, that drop, that rut, whatever you want to call it, I wasn't ready for the next step down. So I kind of impacted wrong. And it looks like I lost control of the bike, again, going way too fast for at least my ability on this trail. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who go way faster on this trail. I should not have been going that fast. I can see here I lost control of my bike. It looks like I came off and my bars turned. Basically my wrists rolled and my chest kind of went straight into the handlebars, which then kind of threw me to the side. Not really over the bars, but kind of to the side / over them a little bit. And then that threw my head down and it just whiplashed straight into the ground. You can see I tried to catch myself. I didn't really roll a whole lot. If I would have rolled, I probably would have went straight into this tree right here. So I guess it's probably lucky that I didn't continue rolling down the hill and kind of just stuck into the sand. Oh my God.
Oh. Oh, man.
Unfortunately, though, I shoulder checked the ground, whether it be a root or sand. I'm not entirely sure what I'd hit, but I shoulder checked the ground pretty bad. And for a solid year and a half, like even today, actually, which this was July of 22. It's currently March of 24. Someone do some calendar math for me. However long ago that was, my shoulder's still not back to normal. I'm not gonna self-diagnose myself here, but I think I maybe did have a slight separation of my shoulder. If I roll it forward just enough in the right position, I can feel this outer edge of maybe my collarbone or something poking up, and it pops. Like, I don't know if you can hear that or not. Hold on. My shoulder pops when I roll it. I have a bit of a pain in my kind of behind my shoulder blade every single day. And because of the things I discussed at the beginning of this video, I have not had time to go to the doctor to get it looked at. So it's not bad enough to where it's like preventing me from doing anything, but it's like I feel it, like it's not pleasant. So it is what it is. I'll get it checked out one day. They're probably gonna tell me that it's too late to do anything. So, oh well. The other thing that happened is I smacked my head pretty good and actually tweaked my neck. It was a solid year where I had a kink in my neck where, like, looking over the left side, I could look clean over my right side and have no issue. My chin could get nowhere near my left shoulder without like just a shooting pain in my neck. Now it's fine. I don't know what's happened to where that's healed or loosened up. I don't know. You can see my visor was missing on my helmet. It looks like a solid snowmobile helmet now. But it could have been a lot worse. I could have hit that tree head on. Like, I went head first down the trail. I could have went straight into that tree.
Oh, I'm so glad I had a full face on. Better that than my face. I think that's broke.
So I don't know how easily those are supposed to pop off, but that visor did break off my my Fox Pro frame. It snaps back on, but a part of the visor is broken, as well as the entire helmet. Which actually, I didn't know the helmet was broke at the time. And it wasn't until I got it out and was looking at it, cleaning it off, all that kind of stuff, when I realized the helmet was actually broke. There's some scuffs on the top, nothing bad. The reason I can't wear this anymore is because the helmet actually cracked in half. The foam all the way through the helmet is cracked. It's cracked from the front, just below the visor, which is, I guess, like my right eyebrow, all the way back to this rear vent on the back. If that helmet wasn't cracked all the way through, if it was just the scuffs on the top and the broken visor, I'd absolutely still be wearing the helmet.
Oh no, I'm done for the day.
So that's when I had realized that I'd actually broken some parts of my bike.
Oh my gosh. Brake line's gone. Brake lever's gone. Oh. Well. Dang.
I'd sheared the front brake lever completely off, and the hose going from the brake lever down to the caliper snapped in half. So even if there was a little bit of lever to squeeze onto left, there's no functioning brakes on the front end anymore. So between a broken helmet, a lot of parts of my body that were in a fair bit of pain, and my front brakes were gone, I was done for the day. So from there, I limped it back to my Jeep with one brake. My ride was done at that point. Luckily, everything's downhill from where I was at, so I could just kind of cruise pretty smoothly. So from a worst crash ever perspective on a mountain bike, I'd say I got away pretty lucky. Definitely could have been much worse. I could have taken a header straight into that tree that was right next to where I was at. I could have broken something. There definitely could have been more damage to a bike other than just breaking off the front brakes. So even though I still feel this this crash most days, I got away pretty lucky. Could have been much worse. I mean, it's not debilitating by any means, but it's not pleasant. Like, I feel it. Now that I've been mountain biking for the better part of 20 years or so, I'd say I'm pretty lucky to have had this being my worst crash ever. I've had some pretty nasty crashes before, but I'd say this one takes the cake for the worst. As far as my neck goes, it's back to normal, and as far as my brake goes, I got a bit of an upgrade out of the deal, so that worked out, but it could have been worse. Let me know down in the comments if you like this video format. We don't have many of these where we sit here and talk like this, so it was fun, it was different. If you like this video and you want to see more just like it, make sure that you're subscribed.